Hello and welcome back to another Altyria Minecraft video with Spy. I know it's been a long time, but let's not worry about it. We're back on Altyria. I'm here with Logan today. We're going to be looking at his epic castle Savguder. Is that how it's pronounced?
You pretty much got it right, yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be checking out this dope castle. Going to be doing a bit of a fly around. We think this is going to be a two-parter. We think that we're going to mostly do a fly around for this first one and then probably go and look at the interior for the second one. But without much further ado, why don't we just hop right into it?
So as you can probably tell around us, this is a big work in progress. This castle is located in the eastern part of Altyria, just south of a mountain range, and located right next to the town of Arsgroth, which again is also in progress, which I'm developing and building on concurrently with the castle Savguder here. I've worked on this castle, regrettably, for 9 years, since 2014. It has changed a lot throughout the time in its forms and sizes. I've restarted it like 3 times, I believe. Palette has changed and my taste has changed and exposure to architecture has changed.
And updates and blocks.
Updates and blocks too, yeah. I can't remember what version of Minecraft was on in 2014. But yeah, hammering out the same project for a long time. I expect it to be burnt out, but I'm continuing to work on it at this point.
It's a love project.
It's a love project. It is my baby, essentially.
Yeah.
It's probably the one I'm most proud of at this point. So still not finished. Probably will take another 5 years. Hopefully not. But we'll see what happens to it.
All right. Why don't we go and walk around? Let's give a little fly around, see what's going on.
Let's do a little fly around here. We're going to start at the front of the castle here. So where we just flew off of is the Barbican courtyard. So this is just a lead up to the Barbican Bridge, which is the main entrance into Savguder Castle here. We walk around. It's yellow concrete. It's just a rough palette I use to get shape out. More of the white kind of and red kind of palette I have going out. The rest of the castle is more of the finished kind of look I'm going for.
There's a lot of these placeholder blocks around, right?
Yes,
kind of
there's a lot of
usually the super bright, like blue, super bright yellow.
Yeah, all the
like
concrete blocks are mainly construction blocks I use. I mainly build the shape first, and then I make the palette on afterwards. So
and the idea is that it's going to come across like this little bridge down here, and then kind of wrap its way up the hill, more or less, right here.
That's the idea there. The idea is that it would come through this ravine here, hook around to the left and up towards this Barbican courtyard, then go into the castle as such. Eventually I'll work on that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once you go up the Barbican Bridge, we come up to the Barbican itself. It's like its own standalone rock structure. And then behind it is the main gatehouse. Behind it with the drawbridge below, and plenty of ramparts for defense that we can get in depth in the next episode for sure. But it is good to see that. And then, oh, you're over there, okay. And then as you go more to the right, we have the right gatehouse tower. There's one on each side that flank the main gatehouse, kind of like curve around the Barbican. This is mainly as a defense stronghold in a way. There's multiple tiers of defense going on here. There are murder holes below at the very bottom that have range on the causeway below, as well as plenty of arrow slits, crossbow slits, and just ramparts in general. And then going more towards the right here, we have the keep gatehouse. This is the highest point of the castle. There's a causeway that comes from the castle up to the keep as you walk around. This is very much in progress, but over here we have one corner of the castle, which is that diagonal corner tower, and it is the upper part of the causeway, and we're using some black deep slate roof here compared to the rest of the castle. So it's meant to distinguish the areas of the castle, as well as some variation too, but it's also an outer defense. It makes sense to use a roofing material that isn't exactly flammable. Not saying any enemies will be able to shoot up there, for instance, but it's good to add some variation nonetheless. And then the causeway has an incline, as you can see, that wraps around the keep, kind of as a curtain wall. Also as a buffer in a way. I think from the front side, it looks very well balanced and composed, at least in my opinion.
No doubt.
And then below that, we have the Royal Docks area, which is planning to have some shipyard areas and just space for more royalty or nobility boats and equipment, essentially.
For sure.
So you can look there, yeah. And then we go on the other side of the keep causeway here. We have a shorter diagonal tower that's more finished or so. Has some hoardings attached to it. You can get the idea of what kind of palette I'm going for with this tower here. Very more so ornate with a lot of some lecterns actually, some fences, and the new lightning rods here too. So a mix of bright and dark colors to add some contrast.
It's pretty cool to see on this causeway here, you know, like this more finished piece, and then you scoot over here, and it's literally, I mean, even quite literally with the white blocks, it's like a skeleton of what you're going to be doing. It's pretty neat to see that in progress, especially at such a grand scale, to see like these massive bones. Of literally the bones of the building like that. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, for sure. I don't tend to focus on one area in particular. So there's a lot of sections that are in various stages of completion. But it's a good background to see how, you know, the structure is built, at least in the method I build it in.
Right.
Yeah. So over here, as the causeway enters the main castle area, we face it's a crossbowsman and kitchen tower here. There's a building complex here that acts as the main castle kitchen. But it's just mainly finished on the top. It has an open top area in the middle and has a roof that sinks down below, kind of like a ring kind of formation. It'll be one of the more prominent, larger towers in the castle, at least on this side.
Yeah, so far this is probably like one of my favorite finished pieces on the castle, just for like how iconic it is. Like we'll get to it later. Like the Great Hall's pretty cool, the chapel's pretty cool. I mean, everything else is dope, but this open top, you know, slightly asymmetrical circular tower is just, it's an iconic shape for this castle.
Thanks, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to go with a lot of asymmetry with this build, as we'll go more in depth later on. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite towers too, as well. And then next to the kitchen tower over here, we have a long building complex. This is mainly for like kitchen storage or food or dry storage, as well as tradespeople who would be working on the castle in terms of maintenance and potential fixes that work there. So easy access to everything else. It's more like a central position in the castle area. And then next to that, we have the Great Hall exterior. This is one of the more finished parts of the castle, going for more ornate feel and style here, and of course asymmetry. Use a lot of bright sandstone blocks, white concrete, some quartz bricks going on here, and of course the red sandstone. And there's a lot of balconies over here, some buttress work, and some varying styles of windows. There's some building tricks that I put in here to get some certain looks across, a lot of trapdoors, fence gates, and such.
Yeah. Yeah, these windows, I never get tired of these windows.
Oh yeah. It's especially when you have such a large thing, you're trying to split up into smaller shapes. Trapdoors do help. And you got the balcony there, yeah, for sure.
It's tight.
Yeah, and over here is the Great Hall Tower. I'm trying to bring across that fancy styling overall. There is a balcony, a wraparound balcony on the top of the tower. And then it essentially is the same kind of color as the rest of the castle. We're trying to go for more ornate feel overall.
I like that you went with the, I forget which is the red sandstone or not, or whatever is the more orange of the sandstones. I like that you did a ring of that on top here to contrast, because everywhere else it's mostly just the regular red sandstone, so this is a really nice pop up here.
Yeah, one thing to note, our texture pack does make the regular sandstone more brown compared to the bright orange in default.
Very
so that's one thing you'll see different with the Altyria
but
pack.
Coincidentally, it matches very well with mud now. Do you have mud somewhere around here, or was that in the city where you had mud at?
It's been such a recent thing I haven't incorporated the castle, but it's in the rural construction.
Oh, that's where it was. And it's very convenient that our red sandstone happens to go perfectly with
mud. Mud. I'm excited to start building with that.
I'm excited to see what Naxos does with it. In this desert city.
If he comes back, yeah.
The Mud City memes actually became real.
Yeah. So anyway, going forward here, we have more of the
Yes.
south side part of the castle. There's this outcrop here, which acts as defense purpose in a way. This part is an older part of the castle, so I may adjust it, but I think I'll keep it here for now. And then we have another unique tower, square tower. You don't really see much in this castle, but this tower also has an open middle on the top.
Yes.
It has a rampart that walks around the perimeter of the wall or on top of the wall area.
Love that.
And then behind it, you have some other towers. There's a bell tower with the oxidized copper roofing. I believe there are bells in there. This might be a crow's or what's the term? An aviary.
Aviary. Yeah, there's like spider webs in there.
That's the intention.
I see.
So I must have forgotten.
Comes across.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see on this tower, there's a lot of outcroppings here. It's planned to be also the poop tower, or forgot the term, but essentially where people do their business. Yeah, poop tower essentially. And very fitting, that poop tower is right next to the chapel.
Of course.
Don't worry, they try to keep it clean. But yeah, more of a very ornate structure, using the warm tones and sandstone to give more of a warmer look, and probably one of the most vibrant buildings compared to the Great Hall that you can see from the outside of the castle.
Yep.
Yeah, and then next to the chapel is a garden area, which we'll get into later at some point. With a lower.
Yes, this will be in the next video when we do that. This is one of the most beautiful spots currently.
Yeah.
In the castle, just gorgeous in there.
Yeah. And then we have a lower wall here. Especially with how tall this castle is, it doesn't need to be super tall. And then next to that is the west. No, actually, not the west. The left gatehouse tower, and also the barracks wing of the castle here, which is also connected to the gatehouse complex. So yeah, and then we circle around to the very front again. We went full circle of the castle, and that's the whole overview of Savguder Castle in a nutshell.
That's the deal. I'm sure I'll throw in some B-roll and stuff around. Just for context, his city's just across the way over here, and it's actually starting to expand nearby. So pretty soon we'll be seeing some dope connections around here. But that's the basic overview of around the castle. Stay tuned for the next video. We're gonna give a little walkthrough on the inside, which is about as complete as the outside is, but there are some really nice spots like this garden we mentioned. This kind of, what is this? South side of the castle is it's pretty finished over here. So lots of cool goodies and treats in there, especially stuff that we get in our texture pack or debug stick and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that video. And that's I think that's pretty much it, right, Logan?
Yeah, no problem. If any of you watching this have any questions about specific sections, you definitely touch upon it. But also in addition, you can join our Discord if you have any questions there, and we'll do our best to answer them for you.
Yeah, I'll throw the Discord link in the description and the comments. I'll flash the IP up on screen right now. Woo, look at that flashing graphics. And yeah, hopefully we can see you guys on sometime soon. We just updated to 1.20.0? 1.1.2?
Yeah. 1.20.1, I believe.
0.1, yes, we're on 1.20.1, so we're all up to date and everything. So feel free to come on and test out your building and come look around. We got lots of cool stuff here. But anyways, thank you, Logan, for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We will see you in the sequel soon, and hope to see you guys on sometime.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, guys.